Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And that's why we're so excited to have with us the winner for the BBB Torch Award for Ethics in the large company category, who's also a City Current Charter partner. We're talking with the president and CEO of Delta Dental of Tennessee, Jeff Ballard. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on, Jeremy.
Absolutely. We have a lot of good to talk about when you talk about the philanthropy and the access to healthcare, dental health. We have a lot to talk about, but let's start. Give us some background, some context for Delta Dental of Tennessee.
Yeah, so Delta Dental of Tennessee is the largest dental insurance company in the state of Tennessee. So we cover 1.5 million Tennesseans with dental. But a lot of people don't know that 5 years ago, we started covering vision insurance. So when we did that, we now cover about 100,000 people in vision insurance. And so we're a part of a larger network called Delta Dental Plans Association in the country, and we cover 90 million Americans in the country. So one last thing about Delta Dental that a lot of people don't know is we are a not-for-profit. So at the end of the year, if we have any profits left over, which we normally do, we reinvest them back into the state of Tennessee. And so last year alone, we reinvested back $4 million. So we're very proud of that.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the philanthropic initiatives and the Smile 180 Foundation and all the good you do supporting Children's Hospital, research, education, charitable dental clinics. So there's a lot to unpack there for sure. Touch on the access, because I think when you talk about the network for Delta Dental of Tennessee and how that really helps power for companies large all the way down to small and for obviously individuals and families, talk about the network and how that works.
Yeah, so that's our value proposition. So in the state of Tennessee, 90% of all dentists in the state of Tennessee are in our network. So we have the largest network in the state of Tennessee. And then if you look at nationwide, we have the largest network in the country also. So we have 200,000 dentists in the country. So if you are a customer of Delta Dental and you're on a vacation, or if you're anywhere in the country, you are going to have access to a dentist. And no matter where you are in the state of Tennessee, if you're rural, urban, you're also going to have access to a dentist. And that's very important because every day we get up, we come into the office and we're thinking about increasing our network size because that's what we do. We are dental. And so we really try to increase our panel. We call it our panel, our network all the time. And so again, 90% of all dentists in the state of Tennessee are on our network.
One of the other things that I think is special is you're always looking at, okay, what's best for the dentist, but also what's best for the customers, the client side too. And so when you look at things like working with those with special needs, you've implemented some really innovative things around, okay, how can we better take care of financially because it's going to cost a little more time for the dentist, but at the same regard, how do we open up more access for those who need it? Touch on a little bit of some of those nuances that I think really do make Delta Dental Tennessee special for the way you approach kind of taking care of people.
Yeah, so that touches on us being a 501c4. It gives us the opportunity to do that. So yes, I'm glad you brought up the special needs benefit. We started that about 3 years ago. So what we were understanding and what we were hearing from some of our customer is some people have special needs and they don't like going to the dentist. Some people just don't like going to the dentist, but they needed extra time in the chair. They needed sensitivity visits. And what we mean by sensitivity visits is just going and sitting in the chair and meeting the dentist because they were afraid. I mean, you know, your first visit to a dentist and a dentist comes and puts metal devices in your mouth. That was scary. And so we heard that. We heard that from the dentist. We heard that from the parents of special needs children. And we said, we're going to cover that. And we're going to say, you can have multiple visits to the dentist, and we're going to bear the cost of that. And we're also going to set up training for the dentist. They may not have had in dental school. Some of these dentists have been in dental school a long time ago, and they may not have had that training. So we set up special continuing education courses for the dentist at no charge. And we gave those benefits to the special needs patients at no charge to them also. And we're very proud of that. And that has been a huge success. And our customers and the employers really like that benefit that we put in.
For those who can see you on screen, you're coming from a new office. And so talk about some of the new exciting things for this year, including an office relocation.
Yeah, so this is my second year as CEO. I've been here 10 years, but yes, you're right. So we have a new office. So we moved 2 miles down the road, but it is a new energy. So we've been in the old office building for 25 years. We've moved to Midtown in Nashville. It's kind of the medical center. We're right down the road from St. Thomas and Vanderbilt, but it is return to office. It is a bright, shiny new office. We have a lot of collision spaces. It is just such new energy. It has brought 2025 to just a wonderful, we've got new business in the office. Everybody, I've actually had, Jeremy, a couple of people say, can I come to the office more often? That was shocking to me. I wasn't the most, a popular person saying, hey, we're going to come to the office more, but now people love it. So yes, we love the new office, and we're rolling out new benefits to small employers. And so what we consider a small employer is someone that employs 100 employees or less. And we're proving to the employer that at no cost to the employer, they can provide benefits to their employees that are significant savings to them, because you mentioned the network earlier. They can access our network, and we have significant savings to their network. And as long as they access the network and go get those preventive services, that saves them down the road. They don't have to get that root canal or that crown, and it keeps them at work. So we're very proud of that.
So let's switch over and talk about the BBB Torch Award for Ethics. And as mentioned, large company category winner. And so definitely congratulations. Well deserved, well earned. Talk about, for the Better Business Bureau serving Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, talk about what that partnership with the BBB is, because I know that's a long time partnership on your end, but also, too, more importantly, what the Torch Award for Ethics represents for Delta Dental of Tennessee.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. So we're proud of it for so many reasons, but we've been a partner of the BBB for more than 25 years. But so what it means really is, ethics, it's right in there. But it really means that the leaders of the organizations have passed down ethics throughout the company. And then the company instills the trust in the customers that we're going to do business the correct way. And the other thing that I love about it is someone had to nominate us for that. And so your customers realize it, and then the BBB comes and says, okay, you got to go through the process now. You got to fill out the application. They looked at our employee handbook, and then they had to get additional recommendations from people that we do business with. And someone in your backyard gave us a great recommendation, St. Jude Children's Hospital. They talked to them and they said, hey, this is what they're doing on a philanthropic effort. And so they talked to them. They said, they're the real deal. Delta Dental of Tennessee is the real deal. They do what they're talking about, what they did in their application. And the last thing that I'm really proud of is, I mentioned before, this is my second year on the job as CEO. The management team is still pretty young. Everybody has stepped up. And this is our first award that we've earned as the new management team. So we're very proud of getting this award.
Talk about it from your vantage point as president and CEO, some of the small things that lead to really these sort of powerful outcomes, right? And because when you look at your leadership team, amazing service in the community, out volunteering, serving on board, showing up, and we'll talk about the Kids Dental Day and shoe distribution, and showing up in a big way to serve. But also, too, like, it's doing the right things, and it's all the small things. It's the claims coming in and being an eye there. It's taking care of your team internally and doing the right thing. It's the return to office and building the chemistry and the collision spaces so that, new ideas can be fostered. Talk about it, in those regards from your standpoint as president and CEO, of what are those things that really do make the culture shine and special that leads to the ethics, these awards.
Yeah, Jeremy. So one of the things, I have been in accounting all my life, controller, CFO. When I got to the CEO, you don't, as CEO, everybody's going to hear this, you don't do a lot of tasks, but you have to make a lot of decisions, and you have to make a lot of controversial gray decisions. But there is not a week that goes by that I don't have to make a decision in a gray area. And I constantly go back, and we have a sign in our new office, and it shows our mission, vision, and values. And our value, I go by that every day. And one of our values is integrity. And I think about that every day when I have to make a decision. And you mentioned it, do the right thing. And I think of all of our employees, and I think, what are they going to think about this decision? And I think about that when I'm like, I've got to do the right thing because everybody is watching me. And I tell my wife this, and everybody says, what's the biggest thing about being a CEO? I knew I was going to be a CEO 24/7, but you didn't know you were going to be on stage and everybody was going to be watching you 24/7. And so everybody's watching every decision you make. So you make the right decision, and that's going to flow throughout the organization. And I think if you always do the right thing, ethics are going to, integrity, everything is going to go flow throughout the organization.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that responsibility that you carry, that president and CEOs carry, the 24/7 responsibility that holds then the accountability and setting the stage. So yeah, great stuff. Let's switch over and talk about the philanthropic initiatives, the Smile 180 Foundation, the investment and community engagement side, which to me really is special. And it ties to, obviously, the Torch Award for Ethics. And so touch on Smile 180 Foundation, touch on the philanthropic initiatives, because I know there's a framework there in terms of the different 3 areas of focus, but go ahead and dive into the philanthropy side of Delta Dental of Tennessee.
Yeah, so I touched on it at the very beginning. So we're a 501c4. So in 2015, we said, how do we reinvest our profits back into the community? So we set up the Smile 180 Foundation. And so you're right, it has 3 pillars. So we do oral health education. So we have 2 dental schools in the state of Tennessee, Meharry right here in Nashville, and UT Health Science Center down in Memphis. So we set up scholarship programs. And then we also have a lot of charitable dental clinics in the state of Tennessee, more than 30 that we help support, that are helping support the underserved in our community that don't have access to oral health or don't have the money, the monetary support to go access our network. So we're actually helping them support that. And then the last thing that we do is support Children's Hospital. And we have gone in every children's hospital in the state of Tennessee and put in a dental operatory room. So that may be a foreign word to someone, but really what that is a dental chair, is a dental office. Because one of the first things that a child needs to do, like at St. Jude Children's Hospital, one of the first things they need to do before they undergo treatment is go get an oral health exam. And so they don't have to go out to a pediatric dental office. They can get seen right there. And so since 2015, we've reinvested over $75 million back into the state of Tennessee in those 3 areas. And that has flown throughout, going back to ethics and the BBB Torch Award, that has flown throughout the company. And everyone wants to volunteer. We talk about volunteering. I do a video podcast because we do still have people at home. I do a video podcast to all of our employees every other week. And we have special guests. Someone in our executive ranks comes on with me. We talk about what we've done in the community, what we're about to do in the community, and everyone wants to get out. And we include the families. We talk about how many hours we've served in the community. We have about 90 employees here. Last year alone, we had over 500 hours of community service. So we love it. We love giving back to the community, both in our time and our resources.
It also ties into some of the other things like mouth guards, the Kids Dental Day and Shoe Distribution with the Nashville Sounds, and so many other partners. City Current was a part of that. Meharry Medical College, there was, tons of organizations coming together to provide dental screenings and cleanings for hundreds of kids, new socks and shoes, books. Bookem was there. So touch on some of these other larger efforts that you all are leading and a part of for the community.
Okay, I'm going to take a lot of your time here. So we do a lot of them. Okay, so first, when I got here 10 years ago, I did not know that everyone in Tennessee didn't have their own toothbrush. So we were going out to these underserved communities and we were giving away toothbrushes, and people were coming up to us and said, great, I don't have to share a toothbrush anymore. So that's one of the first things we said, we're going to remedy this situation. So we've given away over 1 million toothbrushes because I want to put a toothbrush in everyone's hands. That should not be the case. So that is the first thing. We give away more and more toothbrushes than anyone can imagine. So if any of your listeners are out there listening, if you have a church group or any kind of group that needs toothbrushes, you're going out serving any kind of community, please let us know. We'll give you some toothbrushes to take along with you. So we give away a lot of toothbrushes. You mentioned the mouthguard program. So this is something we started with the Nashville Predators years and years ago, probably 15 or more years ago, that we started with their youth hockey program. And they said, hey, we just need some mouth guards to give our kids for their equipment. So we started it with them. Then we moved on to the Music City Bowl and combined them for their youth football program because, again, kids were playing youth football and youth hockey without mouth guards. And we said they can't do that. So we've given away over 200,000 Delta Dental mouth guards because not only do we need clean teeth, we need teeth. And so we didn't want them knocked out. And so then you mentioned Kids Dental Day. So this is something we're very, very proud of. Higginbotham has been a big supporter of ours. We're doing it at the Nashville Sound Stadium. We bring in kids from the Boys and Girls Club and other clubs just like that. And we make these kids feel like kings and queens for the day. We bring in the Meharry dental students. They give them an oral health checkup. We wash the kids' feet. We give them a new pair of shoes with Samaritan's Feet. We've gotten Kroger involved. We get Dunkin' Donuts involved now. I think we have 7 or 8 partners. Our marketing team was talking to me the other day. They're going to meet with the Nashville Sounds and they're going to get more and more partners. I think we had the First Lady of Tennessee involved last year. So it's growing. We hope to serve over 1,000 kids next year. So that's another thing that we're doing. We love. And then lastly, you mentioned the special healthcare needs earlier. So we saw the need there. And so we called the Special Olympics. And we said, how can we help you? And so we knew that their kids and their athletes were having trouble going to the dentist. We said, how can we give them cleanings and just checkups in their comfort zone? And they said, hey, while they're competing, they're very comfortable. Why don't we bring the screenings to them? And so while they're competing at their different athletic events, we're going and having their screening there. And a lot of times they don't even know they're getting the screenings. So we're doing that. And we're in our 3rd or 4th year of doing that. So all of those things, we love getting out and helping the community in any way we can. And anything that we can do to sneak that oral health care in, we like doing that. So not everybody likes going to the dentist, right?
Well, I know that you've got big plans for the remaining part of this year and obviously leading into 2026. Give us 1 or 2 things that put a smile on your face when you look at the future ahead.
Yes. So with 2025, we are going to end the year really well. We've got a new chief revenue officer. So on a financial standpoint, we're going to end the year well. But in 2026, and my marketing team is going to kill me for this, I'm going to give a little sneak peek. We are turning 60 years old. I haven't been here all 60 years, but Delta Dental of Tennessee loves surprising people, loves putting smiles on people's face, and we love having parties. So you are going to see us out in your community. We're going to be giving things away, and we're going to have a party at the end of it. We're going to have a big birthday party.
Good stuff. We're talking with Jeff Ballard, President and CEO of Delta Dental of Tennessee. Wrap up with contact information. So website, social media, where do we go to learn more and get connected in with Delta Dental of Tennessee?
Yes. So come to our website. It is Delta Dental TN, don't forget the TN, deltadentaltn.com.
Well, Jeff, congratulations again. The BBB Torch Award for Ethics, the winner in the large company category. So congratulations there. Thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
All right. Thanks for having me, Jeremy. It's been great.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.